out at the range. We're gonna get some first shots on it, get some true first impressions. Obviously, issues with spring stiffness, but you want that out of a brand new firearm. You don't want sloppy springs. Hopefully, after they get broken in, they'll run a lot smoother. But I could only get 11 loaded up into this 12-round mag, but that's not the end of the world. I could really only do 15 on the SIG mags, and they're 17-round mags, so can't complain. Yeah, let's get it back in the holster. Let's get some first impressions, get some first shots. All right, so let's get our first shots in on this. I like that trigger. You can run that thing fucking fast. I feel like especially with the gloves on, it helped a lot, but that recoil is so manageable. Obviously, got to get better so I can stay on target, but yeah, let's load it up again. Let's run some more. All right, so I got another 11 and 10 rounds loaded up. That one chambered better this time. May as well give it a run without the gloves. Now let's just fire these five as fast as I can. Christ alive. It's a pretty solid trigger. Not snappy. Yeah, this is 1000% replacing my 365. Holy shit. I can shoot that way better. Here. These are technically plus Ps, but it's a full-size gun. I should be able to shoot it better. Failure to feed. Failure to feed. So I found the fucking screw. We got lucky. This motherfucker just broke the end of that fucking bolt or screw, whatever you fucking call this. That is just now part of the goddamn... Figure hurts now. Fucking Christ. So, possible issue. When the slide is locked back, the magazine, I'm gonna press the button, does not eject. Now, you can pull it out. As you can see, it's locked in. Press the button. Even, so, cut it out a little bit. That is not great. So if you're having an issue and you're like, oh, I actually need to fucking drop that, it doesn't just drop. And just to show you my hand isn't getting caught on it, I'm pressing that button. Or maybe even if I do a little, yeah. But still, I shouldn't have to karate chop to get that out the mag. That's not great, but not the end of the world. Let's see. Yeah, just something to do with when the slide is locked back. I'll show you again. I'm not doing any funny business. Ooh. I mean, at least it kind of spit it out. Well, it's actually probably because the rounds are pressed up against the internal. It's not great. Yeah, just thought I'd show that off. So we are on our way out to the range to do a kind of quick comparison between a subcompact 9, about the same size as the Smith & Wesson. Kimber's just a little bit wider, but this is the only other 380 I have besides this bad boy. But I would never carry this gun. This is a showpiece. These bad boys are carry guns. See, let's get on down to the range and get a comparison going. Beretta 84 BB, Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0, and Kimber Micro. Even though this isn't quite the same because capacity is nowhere near the same. It's almost half the capacity, but still be a fair comparison of being around the same package, just the 8mm Kurtz versus the 9mm Luger. The only real comparable pistol I have is my 380 84 BB, which is a Beretta Italian police issue pistol. I got this bad boy from PSA. All right, party people, let's get it going. So we're gonna get a baseline first of the 380 Bodyguard, then we're gonna go to the 380 Beretta, then the 9mm subcompact 1911 from Kimber, and then we'll finish it all back off with the Bodyguard again. I have other mags for the other ones, but I don't have a caddy holster like I do for this one. Let's go from concealment. I just might not have reset the trigger. The trigger reset is weird on this fucking pistol. So now we're gonna go with the 380 Beretta. All right. All right, so that was definitely better, given that has a good deal more grip to it, but still. Last but not least, Kimber Micro 9. I honestly think I ran that better than the Bodyguard, and that's a little disappointing. But to be fair, that Bodyguard mag was the first mag of the day, so let's run it back one more on that Bodyguard. And again, I'm taking my time, but not the most time. I'm trying to get those quick follow-up shots as if it was a real life situation. Obviously, not dealing with the adrenaline that you would in that situation, but trying to get as close as we can to that. All right, see if we can do better on this mag. I guess to be 1,000% fair, a lot of people do say the front irons are off from the factory, so that could be a factor. But we shall see. Got to get some more time on it. Not entirely sure how many rounds deep I am on it at this point. I think just around 100. All right, so we're just going to get a quick 5-shot grouping between the three, see which one's better. It's hard to really say with one quick grouping, but either way, let's run it. .84 BB. Kimber Micro 9. So here are groupings at like 5, maybe 7 yards. The Smith & Wesson up here, probably about a 4-inch grouping, 4x2. These were my first 4 shots. That was that final shot. As you can see, it is pulling pretty left. I was aiming dead center here, given I'm pulling a little bit, but still, that's all pretty consistently left. Beretta, I was aiming right about here, so this is still shooter error, shooting low, but still decently tight. It was these 4. I think I put 2 through right there because you can see through that little fucker. And then lastly, we got the Kimber, which was the widest, but does jump quite a bit. Pretty tight. This is where I was aiming. I really threw those 2. Let's try and get a profile shot and see how the recoil looks in slow motion. So we're going to try and get some side profile shots of all these guns. Same order, Smith & Wesson, Beretta, 9mm. As you could see from the first shots, the Smith & Wesson and the Kimber had pretty comparable recoils, while the Beretta was the tightest one. But on the second one, you can see that the Smith & Wesson closed up a little bit. The 9mm Kimber was pretty much in the same spot, and then the Beretta also closed up a little bit. So that's a nice little comparison between those guys. Next, I'm just gonna run 2 mags through the Smith & Wesson so I can get a little bit more comfortable on it, and then we'll do one more grouping. Yeah, we'll kind of just call that a comparison for now. All right, so let's just get a little bit freshened up on it. That would have sucked to have left off. We'll get it freshened up, and then we'll go for another grouping, and I call it a comparison at that. You really got to bring your finger all the way back out. It's hard to feel that reset. That's my only real complaint is trigger's not the greatest, but it breaks really nicely, so I can't complain on that front. All right, let's set it up for another grouping. Well, I just essentially tore my target stand in half, so let's get this grouping in before a gust of wind completely takes it out. God, that's terrible grouping. All right, let's go for take 2 now that we have a more stationary target, because that was a terrible grouping. That was like 6 inches by like 3 inches wide. It was all over the place. But I'm going to chalk that up to the target moving. It's not a great grouping. God damn, that one just kicks powder back into your fucking face. I think my best grouping was with the Kimber. That's depressing. So we got our Kimber grouping here, our Beretta grouping right here, and our Bodyguard grouping right here. So the Beretta and the Bodyguard are pretty damn comparable. You got the small grouping of kind of like 3, the close kind of grouping of 3, 2 kind of wides. Again, I'm pulling. That's my fault. But Bodyguard's within the same pull distance, so maybe I don't need to adjust the sights too much. Yeah, Kimber, those two are still pretty far apart, but still. For me, as a basic shooter, they're pretty comparable. The whole reason I bought this gun was for you. And even I have damn trouble loading those mags, but seeing you struggle with them, it's not the best sign in the world. But I mean, you can load. It's just not the easiest in the world. Yeah, you got it. Remember, safety. Okay, just making sure. You got it. Keep going. That hit way fucking low. Don't lean. What are you doing?
I don't know. Wait,
No.
no, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're like,
I know.
I'm gonna get him. Slight tilt. You don't want to be like hunched over forward, but you want your center of gravity slightly forward. Yeah. I want burgers. We talked about showers, maybe some fucking. And I still want to show you the 10 mil. You got it? Aim it where you were aiming before. Hey, if that was a person trying to attack you, they got a bullet in their fucking right lung. Take your time. Phenomenal. Heart shot. That grouping is about what I was shooting when I was doing my, like, even my style. Like, a little quick shooting. Lung, heart shot, stomach shot, liver, kidney, whatever's right here. That's great. I am loving the looks of it. So far, the only issue, in my opinion, is the trigger. It's not a bad trigger, but... Alright, well, first let's show clear. It's not a bad trigger. Brake is nice, but... to get to that reset, it's all the way out here. Wall's back here. So... reset right there. And then full reset is back here, so it's so close to like just fully releasing the trigger, but it doesn't feel like a terrible trigger. It would just be something to get used to for the reset. I like that trigger. Never mind, I lied. You can run that thing fucking fast. But overall, the ergonomics of it feel great. Grip angle feels phenomenal. Texturing's great. This was so stiff, I could not do this freely when I first got it, but like with any gun, you just kind of got to break it in, up and down, over and over again. So to get some final range thoughts while I got it in my hands actively shooting it, I do really quite like it for what it is. Something you can kind of just put into your pocket. You don't really got to think about it too much, and it's just kind of like, huh. For something like that, it does fit the package really well. It is a lot smaller form factor wise than any other pistol I've had. Almost kind of comically small. Obviously, I got to get better on it and get more comfortable with it. But for how slim it is, form factor wise, it's a really nice gun. It's a fun shooting gun. God, it just fucking kicks gunpowder back into my face. It shoots pretty good. It's fairly easy to quickly get on target. As much as I love this, I still would just much prefer a better, more comfortable way to carry something like this. Because goddamn do I love the 10 mil. But goddamn does it seem to not enjoy PSA ammo. But with all that being said, I think this fucking gun is perfect. For what it is. Obviously, there's no such thing as perfection. You're gonna lose some points somewhere. But for what it is, form factor wise, caliber wise, how fucking small it is. This thing just meets all my expectations. My wife has a really easy time shooting it. I think this is a great pistol for beginners to get into. It's a step up from a 22, because 22 is nice to kind of learn on, but you're not getting that real recoil. You're not really learning how to fight the gun. But not even really fight the gun, work with the gun. But for this, you get a little bit of that recoil, get some good accuracy. I've been carrying it since I got it. I absolutely love it. And that trigger leaves a little bit to be desired with that reset. But with everything being said, it is a damn fine pistol and a great package at a really affordable price. I think you could probably get one of these for about $450 out the door. I haven't looked at them. I got mine for just about $400, I think. I know I got it for less than the Beretta 84 BB, which was around $450, I think $500 out the door after everything's said and done. I really, really like this handgun. I've been carrying it and I've been trusting my life with it. I don't know why you couldn't with yours. Yeah. Hope y'all have a lovely day. Stay safe. All is over, balls.